Wait, this is my cart? Oh yeah, it is.
I think.
Dude, I'm second guessing everything right now.
All right. So, what made you want to start? What made you want to start Palm? Like, I gotta.
Yeah.
Just simple.
So like I always credit Justin and Dustin for the concept because it really wasn't me that came up with the glove, and I was around. Like I moved from the East Coast, we became friends, we golfed a lot together, and long story short, like Palm was literally the foundation of our friendship. I was involved enough knowing what they were doing, and they figured that I could be an added value if I joined in on Palm, and never looked back.
What were you doing before?
I came from capital markets from a small mortgage company back east.
And now he's 2 years with Palm. Just look at that. Look at that playing golf.
So is there anything about preparation for baseball that you can carry over to golf or to hunting even?
Good question. I think from hunting to golf, there isn't much other than just enjoying your surroundings.
True. Yeah.
But I will say that with baseball, all of my workouts basically translate because we are, a rotational sport. Golf being rotational, that's what makes baseball players good golfers.
Correct. Yeah.
And hockey players good golfers too.
True.
So a lot of the lifts kind of translate. Doing core rotational stuff to strengthen the core for a long season, or even doing leg workouts, because a lot of the swing is in the legs.
Correct.
The hands are going for the ride. So baseball translates a lot, and that's why you hear about so many ball players being golfers. What are some things you like to do before you got into golf? Just hobbies, with the boys?
Most of my cool hobbies started when I moved to California. I do love music, I love camping, I love hiking. Those are really my three go-tos. If I have time, I would love nothing more than to just completely separate and be out here and enjoy it. But yeah.
Ping pong player?
Dude, I love ping pong.
We gotta play.
What was your introduction to golf?
So my dad would sneak me onto the golf course when I was maybe 3 or 4, and every once in a while the marshal would come rat my dad out and have to pay the $15 for his 3-year-old son to just putt it around with him at twilight. That was my first introduction to golf. And my dad always said, whenever I'd be at the driving range, I'd be done with the bucket in 5 minutes. You put it in front of me, I'm just whacking balls.
Dude, that's awesome. At first, my mom would kill me for not saying this, but she was trying to get me into it when I was 7 years old. I was a stud at soccer, and I was just nah, I have no interest in playing golf at all. I have no interest in lessons, and dude, it's one of my biggest regrets is not adopting this earlier. It's such a fun game to chase the feeling when you
chase perfection.
That's right.
That's what it is. That's what golf is chasing perfection.
Yeah.
What do you think your first thoughts of Dustin and or Justin's first opinions of you were?
Oh, dude, that's a good question. I met them at a brewery. Dude, as much as those guys can be, especially Dustin, you know it. He could be a real shit talker, and he's somebody that at first his love language is teasing you, and that's to this day. So I think the first impressions, I hope I'm right. It's I'm the same guy I've always been, where it's just I feel like I'm a welcoming person.
What were their first words?
It was potentially something not favorable. All right, we gotta take care of
we had the 1 minute long speech. Now the words were, this guy's okay.
Yeah, he's all right. Do you have a guy that you were in the clubhouse with that was somebody that you looked up to or aspired to be?
I don't know. There's a handful of guys that I just enjoyed their company, right? Zach Wheeler, just quiet, low profile, doesn't want any attention.
Yep.
Aaron Nola, incredible dude, one of my favorite teammates to ever have. And Vince Velasquez, who's playing in the group behind us, really been a lifelong friend. And there's countless guys that I can name that started with my Philadelphia days that are just great overall dudes, but just you enjoyed being their teammate and hope to be a teammate with them again.
Sure.
And there's definitely a handful of guys that led the way, and I understand why now Jake Arrieta works out as hard as he did and why he looks so good. Man, it takes a lot of work. I put more work time in the weight room this off season than any other off season before, and I'm seeing benefits, but that guy was almost in a different league. It was incredible. But I understand it now, and I want to continue freaking looking better. I'm tired of my gut.
How about favorite city that you played for so far, and then why?
So I did get booed a lot in Philadelphia. Rightfully so, and I totally get it.
I was gonna ask you, like, so baseball's 1, hunting 2, then golf? Golf's number 2?
Golf 2, and then hunting, outdoors, shooting.
Yeah.
I don't know, I like being outdoors, man.
Yeah, I hear you. Did you meet Vinny when you were on the Phillies?
Yeah,
Nice.
and I became close friends on the Phils, and then maintained a friendship ever since. He's funny. He's a tough cat to figure out at first.
Like personality-wise?
Personality-wise.
Yeah.
Especially during the season. You're getting called up, you don't know much about anyone. I'd be curious to know Ben's thoughts
About meeting you for the first time?
about me.
Like,
I feel like I'm approachable.
super,
but
like,